special presentation of GTCM Sports.
This is Legends of the Fall.
Hello and welcome to Legends of the Fall. This week we will find out if North Avenue South is for real when they take on the Freemen of Montague. Diana, if they get a victory here, they will go to 2-0.
And at 2-0, they will distance themselves from the rest of the teams in the division.
And who will we see in this week's player profile segment?
This week, you'll meet Danny Duong. Danny is a master's student from Hoover, Alabama, who joined the North Avenue South team by chance and has flourished both on the field and with the new friends he has made off the field.
We look forward to hearing more about Danny later in the show, but now it's time to get to the first half highlights.
North Avenue South came out of the gates, shooting themselves in the foot. After a costly drop and a careless fumble, quarterback Greg Kowalski called for a huddle to regroup his team. On the very next play, Kowalski dumped it off to Stephen Kusi, who made some shifty moves to take it the distance. After missing a nearly impressive catch for the extra point, Nasty held on to a 6-0 lead. On Freeman's first offensive possession, the Nasty defense was able to force an interception and return it for 6 points. After the extra point and a quick 3-and-out, North Avenue South's offense had the ball in great field position. Kowalski took advantage of the field position and threw a 30-yard pass to roommate and favorite target, Ben Adams, for the touchdown. The pass rush of Danny Duong was the highlight of Nasty's next opportunity on defense. After 2 consecutive sacks, his pressure forced the Freeman quarterback to throw one up for grabs, which was intercepted by safety Tapan Shaw. With great field position, North Avenue South was able to take advantage, adding on an additional score to the insurmountable lead. At the half, Nasty led Freeman 26-0.
What an impressive performance for North Avenue South in the first half. When we return, we sit down with Danny Duong. There are many stories about the residents on campus, but this one is unique due to the heartbreak Danny has faced and how he got past it to be an inspiring example of overcoming adversity. Don't touch that remote, you won't want to miss this one.
Welcome back to Legends of the Fall. I'm Diana Nord. Many of us have never had to deal with the loss of a loved one, not to mention a parent. But for defensive lineman Danny Duong, he had to go through a family tragedy. But instead of blaming life and throwing in the towel, Danny has become an inspiration to everyone who has heard his story.
North Ave South people are really, really cool. Obviously, we bond well on the football team, and we're just a bunch of friends, and we click. Georgia Tech is very accessible, and there's a lot of opportunity at Georgia Tech. If you want to find it, or if you're looking for something, you can find it, and that includes soccer, rowing, football. I think we have a flying club. There's all sorts of things if you want to find it. Professor Leach is probably my favorite professor, and he passed away recently. He was a great professor. He knew his material, but he always had an open door policy. Didn't matter what issues we had, we'd come up to him. If it was analog circuits, he'd help us. If it was personal problems, he'd come, anything. We were doing our senior design project, and it was probably 9 or 10 at night, and we were trying to figure out how to build this circuit. And we're scouring around looking for materials, but we see Professor Leach's doors open, so we walk in there, and he spends a good hour, speaking with us and drawing out different circuits and possibilities at work. And it turns out that one of his designs we ended up using, and he stayed with us till 11 o'clock that night, working with us, getting our senior project done. If I ever needed monetary help, I always went to my mom. Everything else, always my dad. But my dad, my personality is very, very much like his. He's very calm, very hardworking. My mom always handled money. She was very strict. My mom and I didn't get along very well a while ago, but now that I've gotten older and matured some, our relationship is great now. My father, honestly, I didn't see him very much, mainly because he worked all the time. But I always looked up to him. I wouldn't be where I am without my father, and I take a lot of his personality, a lot of his perseverance, his temperance from him. My father didn't pass away naturally, and it's one of those things that I never wish this on anybody else, but it happened. It happened to me, unfortunately. But you just gotta learn to live with it. And I can't. He's always in my mind, but I can't think about him all the time. Otherwise, I'd never get anything done. But he's always with me, and when I'm having a tough situation, I think about my father and how he would get through it, and it usually helps me get through it. I hope the community will think that I'm reliable. In high school, I was always the guy you could call 3 a.m. if you were stranded. I'd come pick you up, and I hope that's the case now. My closest friends can always call on me, and on the field, hope they'd be like, well, we need to play. Hopefully, Dan can do it. And in school, it's like, well, we need something done. Can you do it? So I hope reliability is what they take from that. Well, I definitely miss the people most. I tend to lose people when they move off or when I move off, and I'm hoping that won't be the case because people are irreplaceable.
We thank Danny for having the courage to tell us his incredible story. We know he has the stuff of what success in the face of tragedy is all about. When we return, can Danny and the defense keep the shutout going? Stay tuned.
The second half continued just the way it left off. Danny Duong forced another quick pass that was picked off and then pitched to 6'10" David McCauley, who ran the ball all the way back for the touchdown. After the nasty defense provided the offense another chance to score, Kowalski took a pitch from Devon Dixon to seal the deal. North Avenue South coasted to a decisive victory with the final score of 40-0. We caught up with a few of the heroes from North Avenue South's impressive victory.
Well, we scored more points.
Got more sacks.
And got more sacks.
And more touchdowens, pretty much.
Yeah, we actually caught the ball today on both sides.
Everything went pretty well.
I think that the practice was good. And whenever we can practice more, we can throw some more wrinkles in the offense. So
That's gonna be defense guessing.
It's gonna be good. Wrinkles,
coach.
We like it real wrinkly.
Real wrinkly, yes.
All those wrinkles are apparently paying off as North Avenue South improves to 2-0 with an overall point differential of 67-0.
That's what I was gonna do. Oh, give it to Steve.
Well, Diana, 2 games, 2 dominating performances, and not a point allowed. Who does Nasty play next week?
Coming up for Nasty will be Hefty Strong, who have gotten off to a slow start, but are capable of pulling an upset every time they take the field. You won't want to miss this one.
We'll see if Nasty can keep focus and take their record to 3-0. Legends of the Fall will be there to capture all the action. Until next time, I'm Kelly Stiegel.
And I'm Diana Nord. Thanks for watching.